We're with PHTM TV, and I'm with Amer Hasan from minicabit. Hasan, welcome, and tell people who've not heard of you a little bit about your company.
Sure. So we're here at PHTM, proud to be the co-sponsor of the show, 4th year running. So minicabit is UK's largest cab comparison service. So customers and businesses can come onto our website or our app and book from A to B, and they can get quotes from hundreds of cab operators wherever they are around the UK. We're actually the largest comparison service and the third most visited cab website after Uber and Addison Lee. We don't have the time and money that they've had over the years, but we've definitely grown and have a very substantial business for our cab operator partners.
And how many years has it taken you to grow the business to this size?
So we started in early 2011, and you can imagine, there wasn't ride-hailing apps, and the kind of online penetration was very nascent. We've really played the long game. I'd say that certainly 2012, 2013, we really started to take off in two ways. One is we actually have a lot of partnerships with major travel brands. So if you go on Heathrow Airport's website, Stansted, Expedia, and many others, you'll see our booking tech is on there. And that started to really surface in 2012 onwards. And I suppose we had certainly my 50 minutes of fame was in 2014. We were the first app to win offers on Dragon's Den. And
Wow.
so that really put us on the map, not just with customers, but with cab operator partners as well.
And so what's the journey been like up to 2019? What have been the main achievements?
I'd say a number of things. One is certainly the size of the business. So right now we have every month £10 million of fares are searched for and are not fulfilled. That's how big the demand is on our platform.
Wow.
Last year we had bookings in over 300 cities and towns around the UK. Now it's 500 UK towns and cities. So demand is one big thing. The second area is the platform, the technology as well. So we now have about 800 cab operators around the UK. And we're talking about a fleet in Penzance, in Inverness, as well as London, Birmingham, Manchester, and elsewhere. And we have, over the last couple of years, we've started to feed back a lot to our cab operator partners about the nature of the demand that they're missing out on, and how they can improve and optimize their settings so they can get more work. And very often, we look at 2 or 3 factors. Yes, we look at the price, and it's amazing how much opportunity there is. So our record trip last year was from Cambridge to Glasgow, wow, £700, and so we can bring fleets that work.
Yes.
And then the second area is just around availability. So we're now working with electric vehicle fleets to bring them work for those types of cars. And I think that last but never least is the quality of service. The big opportunity, I'd say, for the industry is the customers are thinking, well, okay, if I want a reliable service, I might use a ride-hailing app, for instance. And very often, it's a driver turning up in a Prius. And we're here to show that actually these traditional minicab operators who've been doing this for decades and know the way around a city can offer the same, if not much better service. And we're really showcasing that on our service.
So it's almost like a kind of TripAdvisor within the taxi service industry.
I think we're a bit of everything. So yeah. We're Expedia in terms of showcasing the availability and the pricing, but also, yes, we are offering a level playing field actually. So if you're a small 5-car fleet and you've got great drivers and you can earn a 5-star rating on our platform, why not showcase that to all the customers around the UK?
Yeah, and for all the operators, of course, you're opening up a kind of marketing intelligence and marketing service design aspect, and so that must be quite a culture change within the industry.
You can bet that is. So I remember when I first came to the show in 2010, 2011, And back then, if you'd ask them, well, what's talked about apps, it's like, well, what's an app?
Yeah.
If you mention Uber, well, what's Uber? So that whole conversation has shifted now, and what we're seeing is the way that cab operator partners would have acquired source customers in the past has changed, right? So it's no longer a phone number on the card on a doormat. It's trying to find them online. And that's where we see we can add value, right?
Yeah.
We can actually acquire, so rather than trying to figure out how to use Google, Facebook and so on, we can do that for them, and they can concentrate on what they do best, which is offering that great service.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a managed service, and I'm so ancient I can remember that the cab companies used to compete in yellow pages to have A in their name so they'd be top of the list.
Yeah.
But now the world's moved on. It's
Absolutely.
a much more complicated world, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Yeah. And it's going to get, in some ways, more exciting, but even more complicated.
Yeah.
So right now, customers are searching through a website or through an app. In the next 5-10 years, it could be through an Alexa voice assistant in your lounge, right?
Yeah.
And we'll always be there at the cutting edge to help these cab companies survive, but more importantly, thrive in this shift to online.
Yeah. So what's the future for you? Are you going to go international, or are you already international with the service, or is it very much still a UK-based service?
Yeah, so the UK actually is the largest cab market in the world per capita. That's something for your pub quiz. So it's US, Japan, and then the UK. So there's plenty of opportunity in the UK. We're focused on building that out. Always more that can be done. We have international travel partners, as you can imagine, and we will be looking tactically at moving overseas. And I think the other big area we see is, first of all, the shift to electric vehicles. We can help these fleets manage that. And secondly, business customers.
Yeah. And given this big change that you're at the centre of, this realisation of a whole new way of operating in the private hire and taxi marketplace, what are the big success stories, the people that have made a major leap forward by using your service?
I would say, so first of all, from a cab operator partner perspective, so one of the many clever things our technology does is we enable, let's say, an operator who's based near Heathrow to pick up work from around the regions coming into Heathrow, right? So our record trip a couple of years back was from Snowdonia, North Wales, coming into Surrey. Now, we didn't have an operator at the time near Snowdonia, so went to an operator in the M25. So we can unlock revenue that the cab operators won't see. Secondly, we make it easy for customers to book trips they wouldn't have considered making, because they just think, well, I'll never find someone who'll do that route, or I need an 8-seater that and I'm not sure what the cost is. So we can definitely bring those barriers down. And I think the way that we have navigated these partnerships, and the fact that we've got people from the British Tourist Authority to Ascot, which is on next week, to the Jockey Club, to Big Yellow Storage, even partnering with them. In the past, the cab consideration was really left off. They partnered with the car hire company and so on, and we brought the cab sector into their mix of options that they can offer customers, and hopefully that's a win for everyone.
Yeah. So this year, it's been several years now you've been coming to the show. Yeah. What do you think of this year's show? What's really happening out there?
Well, as there's always something transformational every year, I'd say. Certainly the hot topic is the introduction of clean air zones around the UK.
Yeah.
And that's going to really coerce and mandate a lot of fleets to upgrade their fleets. Upgrade the type of cars that they've got. So I say that's a hot topic. And I think secondly, there are all sorts of technology providers here, from dispatch systems and others. And I think the embrace of technology to help these cab companies be more efficient in what they do best is definitely a bigger change than before.
And will you be helping those leading edge cab companies, if you like, promote their green credentials?
Absolutely. So you will see in the next couple of months on minicabit and through our partner channels we will be showcasing zero emissions as a default option, and where it's offered. And we think that the customer is ready to make that change. We actually ran a YouGov poll with Heathrow a few years ago, testing the waters on that, and we see that that things have really come of age as we are now.
That's fantastic. Well, look, I wish you all the best with the remainder of the show. We've got another day to go.
Sure.
And I think the organisers are very thankful to have you at the heart of the show, and really, I think, bringing major change, positive change to the industry. So,
Always happy to support.
Yeah, thank you, Amir.
Cheers.